Hello YouTube, my name is Monica Smith and I want to welcome you back to my channel, Creative Moments. But before we get started with writing tip number 3, I want you guys to look down below, yes, down below, and hit that red subscribe button and that notification bell as well so that you can be notified each and every time I upload a video. Okay, so writing tip number 3. Should you use an outline when you are writing a book? Each author is different. I personally cannot write with an outline. I like to free flow, so my ideas for each chapter comes as I finish the first chapter. So a lot of authors will actually sit there and say, okay, this is what I'm going to put in chapter 1. This is what it's going to detail or whatever. These are the characters. This is how number 2 is going to fall into play. The only thing I know when I start to write a book is who my characters are, what I want the book to be about, and how it's going to lead out and how it's going to end. I never know what's in the middle of my book. I just like to write, and then I'll go back and I'll read that paragraph or that chapter and feed off of it. So it's up to each individual author on outlines and how detailed of an outline that you want to have. Another thing is I like character visuals. So I'll go through the internet, the search, Google search, and I will find pictures of people that I think that my characters are going to look like. So when I wrote Skinwalkers, I was looking for Native American women, I was looking for Black women, I was looking for Native American men, so that when I start to write these characters, I knew what these characters look like. And I would put that character visual up on the side of my Word document, and as I'm writing my book, I'm looking at the character and I'm like, oh, he looked like he might be a bad boy type of person. Now this one, she looks sneaky. So that's how I would start to write that book. So I've never really used an outline. Now I have at some point, or sometimes I have wrote down notes, because sometimes as you write a book, there's a lot of things that your characters are doing that I didn't want to mix up with something else or with someone else. I wanted to have my facts straight, but it wasn't an outline. It was just like notes, so to say. So like I knew who the wolf shapeshifter was. I knew who had what power, or I would make little notes about who was whose mother and who was whose father, because sometimes your characters don't have the same mother and the same father, they don't have the same sister, the same brother, whatever. But I would keep little notes or something that was small that I wanted to play into my story. I would make sure that I would notate that on a piece of paper. But I've never used an outline. Have I seen some outlines? Yes. Yes, and some people, like I said, they're very in-depth with it. I don't have that time or patience. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have that time or patience. And yes, I am drinking. No, I am not an alcoholic. But I don't have that type of time or patience to sit there and write the book by hand. Because to me, that's what all the outline is. You're writing the book by hand and then go back and type that book. And to me, the best ideas come naturally. You can always go back and fix it or change something versus having to sit there and say, okay, so chapter 1 is going to be about this great battle, and this person is going to be leading the battle, and this person is going to be the supporting person in this battle, and this person is going to do it. To me, that's just too much. That's just too much. When I start to write, I grab my drink, I open up my laptop, and I just free flow. and I type until I finish that chapter. It works easy for me. That might not be the thing for you. You might be one of those people that have to actually sit down and think your book out, plot your book out, and that's fine. It doesn't mean that my way of doing things and your way of doing things, one is right and the other one is wrong. It just means that we are two totally different people. We do things two totally different ways. So there's a lot of resources on the internet for people who need to use an outline. You just have to get on there and Google it, or you might be one of those writing majors that already know how to put an outline together. And that could be another problem with me, is I don't know how to put an outline together, but then again, I still think it's a waste of time. So it is not for me. But there's a lot of resources on the internet, and I mean, some of this stuff is like so detailed, down to the nick and cranny of something, as far as hair color, eye color, height, were they fat, were they curvy, were her favorite color, down to just the whole general plot of the book. And the only reason why I'm giving you this tip on outlines is because when I wrote my first real book, I know that one of the Fiverr editors that I was using that I did not care for, she sent me an outline. She's like, if you use this outline, then your book will fall into place, because right now you're all over the place and blah, 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 blah. No. To me, when I tried to write out that outline, I got totally confused, totally screwed up, and it just made it that much harder for me to write a book. And plus I have ADHD, so any little noise or any little thing that happens in my house, that outline is out the window. I done totally forgot what the heck was going on and what I was writing and what my thought process was, because I'm scatterbrained. So it's best for me to sit there without an outline and just write. And to me, also, I feel like those are the best writings that you will get, is when you just write from your heart and not from a piece of paper that you pre-outline. Because by you sticking to that outline, and this is just my opinion, so please don't get upset. Sticking to that outline, you're gonna write exactly what you put on that outline versus writing from your heart. And you're gonna write all types of ways. It's gonna deviate to all types of different ways. So yeah, as you can tell, I am so not a fan of it. Don't want to use it. It kind of reminds me of school, and that could be another reason why I do not want to use an outline. I don't care for it. It just nauseates me. So, but if you have any thoughts or you have any comments about it, I would love to hear it. Maybe you can say something to me to make me understand why an outline is important. But as of right now, today, I don't use outlines. But each and every author is different. So it's up to you. If you want to use one, that's fine. If you don't want to use one, that's fine. Or if you're just like me and you're just a note taker, that's fine too. But you have to be comfortable when you're writing and about the things that you're writing. And like I said, to me, the best writing comes from your heart and not a piece of paper with a bunch of gibberish on it. But please leave your comments below, down below. Leave your comments below and let me know what you think. Or if you have any questions, I'm an open book. Very open, turn the pages. I am an open book, and you can ask me anything. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever, here on YouTube. Down below, questions, discussions, let's talk about it. But until next time, you have a blessed day.